So we're back, guys, with another episode of Are We Talking Sports, the podcast in which I can finally lay back and get back to my early days, my early roots of when I began podcasting with the regular season sportscast. I could kick back and get back to talking the stuff that everybody loves to argue and moan and bitch and complain about. Sports, basically sports.
Yes.
Uncle Dave, how many how many conversations you think you have about sports on a weekly basis?
Oh, hundreds. Everywhere I go, that's the topic, sports. And I like them all. I believe today we're going to talk about the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I came ready. Although I'm not a Laker fan, I have like a bunch of jerseys.
Oh,
so I figured I'll pull out the Laker jersey today.
Okay.
Yeah. We spoke the last time we spoke and the NFL, and I said let's go to the other field of sports in which there's a lot of people who may not love anymore because viewership has been going down in the past couple of years for the NBA. What do you think that's about?
Well, I think the main issue is I think tanking. I believe that low management, I think it's affecting a lot of people. And I think the overall product, a lot of people are saying that it seems to be becoming watered down. You're not seeing the effort that you used to see in years past. And I believe it's starting to catch up with the viewership.
Yeah, I've started to believe, of years past where the game was at a point to where you got to see premier athletes being able to go on a court, show their athleticism, being able to take pride in playing the game, and
Right.
such. And I believe what really started happening was, like you said, the load management is it's horrible. Like I really feel as though that there needs to be a better way to deal with that.
Yes.
I saw that certain teams and maybe and such that they are giving the I believe there's incentives in their contract that they have to play a certain amount of games and such. So that's always a possibility that helps to change the game. But what other what other things can be a hindrance in the NBA right now that wasn't there 20, 25 years ago?
Well, I think the younger sports fan, they have a shorter line of attention. So I think a lot of the younger fans I've been speaking with, they said they feel the 82 game season is too long. So I've been hearing they've been thinking about cutting the season to perhaps 58 to 60 games. Maybe adopting a series-based scheduling, to reduce some of the travel, and maybe expanding the calendar length, to allow more rest, which may help with the load management. But I personally think the season is getting a little bit long. I mean, I know they incorporated the NBA Cup at the beginning of the season, but that's the beginning of the season. Everything is fresh, but as we get closer to the middle part of the season and the end, is that long gap between the mid-season and the playoffs. I think maybe if they shorten it and make throw in a little incentives as far as draft picks, it might increase the intensity and the sense of urgency near the end of the season.
If they minimize the season, long or dead the previous records, they'll be able to hold the test of time forever. That's locked in,
right?
I feel that I don't know. I maybe the ability to expand a roster a little bit maybe could help. Maybe add two more players to the bench could actually help with that as well. We could help to deal with injuries and such. I've also been very conscious about what players are wearing these days, and a lot of these footwear that they're wearing is not what we used to see years ago, and it's
Right.
you see there's a lot of injuries that's occurring from
A
it.
lot of injuries.
There's many people who believe that, and shout out to my boy Lingo who put it in the air. He said, you know, it's probably what shortened Derrick Rose's career wearing the sneakers he had on because
Correct.
of the no support on the ankles as such.
Yes. They've been cutting a lot of corners with the making of the sneakers.
Mhm.
When the last time did you really see like high top
Yeah.
that really protect your ankles? So what players have been doing is doubling, tripling, the sock wear to try to make up for that. But a lot of injuries in the NBA and a lot of injuries to key players, to all-stars.
Yeah.
Which automatically hampers the viewership. People are only going to watch the stars, and they pay their tickets to come to see the stars. So when a West Coast team comes to the East Coast only once a year, and that star player is not available to play, that affects the whole league, and it's been happening more and more as the years have gone by.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate loss to the league because there's so many talented players across the board in the league that should be recognized and seen. The one thing that I can't say is shout out to NBC for bringing back the NBA on there.
Oh, I'm so happy about that. NBC was always my favorite channel with the NBA.
Oh, please. Saturday afternoons, please.
Oh,
Oh God,
yeah.
I didn't go outside until after I watched the games.
Exactly.
I had to.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it was good to see to bring back, bring the nostalgia back. You hear the music. It's a beautiful thing that occurred, and hopefully that brings more eyes to the product. But at the same time, you're only going to be watching marquee matchups,
Right.
and I was doing my research recently that the NBA League Pass is losing viewership. Like people are not investing in it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I'm thinking that maybe the shorter season can work. What's some other things that you think could also help to change the game a little bit?
Well, I think to prevent the tanking, they've been talking about freezing lottery odds, at the trading deadline, adopting a 2-year record, average for lottery positioning, because it seems like the same team keeps getting the number one pick every year. That has to change. Limiting, consecutive high draft picks, and then implementing maybe a win formula for the lottery, to create incentive, late in the season. Unfortunately, the sign of the times, you have to change with the times. So hopefully they'll incorporate some of these ideas.
Yeah, there was also talk. Sorry about that, but there was also talk of maybe adding or moving the 3-point line back.
Yes, I heard that as well. It's become too easy, and also at the same time, that's the game. Whether you can hit a three or not. I mean, it's really no teamwork. It's no plays run. It's just whether you can hit the three. It's really hampered the game. I guess we can blame Steph Curry for that.
Oh, come on now. We had a guy.
No, he's my guy. He's my favorite guy.
We had Ray Allen. Yeah, we had Ray Allen. We had Bird. We had we had Reggie. They were shooting the gym out.
Yeah, they were shooting the three.
No, but to be fair, and not to draw attention because I love Stephen as well, but
yeah,
he just made it too easy. It just
he really did. He changed the game, Santy. He changed the game.
Fastest guy to knock down 3 points in the NBA career. Like it's astronomical. So when you're able to do that to a league and change the game the way that you did, you congratulate, but at the same time, you're just like, fuck, you fucked everything up for us, bro. Like, but I do say that we did see a team last year win a championship that didn't play that kind of way. The Oklahoma City Thunder actually, when I watched in the games and such, it reminded me of classic 90s, 80s basketball at the frames.
Yes. And kudos to the Detroit Pistons because they're
Yeah.
playing it old school as well.
Yeah, I've noticed that as
A lot of
well. Yeah.
people are saying the bad boys are back. I mean, look at our Knicks. I mean, we're having trouble, dealing with them, and they play a more inside game. You
Yeah.
know, so you are seeing some teams, trying to turn back the clock. We need more of them, though.
Yeah. I like the fact that we can look at the eras of NBA and have the conversation of who could have survived here, who could have done the what ifs and such, right?
Right.
But at the same time, we're looking at an era right now that's it needs to find itself again. It needs to find a reason to not only watch but even care. Do you think the contracts, the money that's been given out to these players is just taken away from the fact that maybe they don't care about championships. Maybe they don't care about how deep they go into the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's so astronomical, and it does take away from the hunger. But you still have NBA greats out there. No matter what the salary is, they still want to win a championship. They still want to be on a championship team. Look at the top 5 guys in the NBA. I mean, I don't think they're affected by the salaries. They still have that hunger. Who would you say would be your top 5 right now?
Well, right now, SGA is like he's astronomical right now.
Yes, I agree.
Luka definitely, Jokic definitely. Brunson has like such. It's there. It's like at the precipice. You
right
got
there. He's right there, Santy.
He's knocking at that door of it.
I agree.
But when you get guys who are just freaks of nature like Wembayami, like God,
Wemby's unbelievable.
He could cover the floor. I mean, it's ridiculous what's happening. I'm actually looking forward to see how San Antonio is going to continue to build around him, because that's going to be a very dangerous team down the line once to get all that pieces together and such. But yeah, like with Wemby and such, and kudos due. The man is in his freaking 40s, and LeBron is still playing at a fucking elite level.
At a high level, and you have to give him credit for that.
Yeah, it's you gotta regardless of the hate that he does follow and get, you gotta commend the guy's been able to still stay in great shape, invest maybe millions of dollars in conditioning. So it's ridiculous. But you gotta say, LeBron is still up there. The Lakers are leading their division. So
yes, you have to add Jaylen Brown to that equation.
Yeah.
He has single-handedly carried the Boston Celtics. I mean, so much that we're not sure if what's his name going to return.
Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum.
Yeah.
We're not so sure if he's going to return because Jaylen Brown has made that his team. But these guys still have the hunger. The salaries clearly hasn't affected them, and we just need more. We just need more of these kind of players. All-Star Weekend, I thought was an improvement. I thought the new concept that they used, I liked it actually. I heard some people didn't really like it, but I thought it brought back the intensity. I thought it brought back defense. I thought it brought back strategy. The only thing I would make an adjustment for the older NBA players, they had to play 3 times, and I think by the 3rd game they were worn out. So maybe if they could tweak it a little bit more. But I thought it was watchable. It was good, and that's all we can ask for, Santy.
Yeah, it's I'm never a fan of a sport that has their all-star game mid-season. I'm not a fan of that.
Gotcha.
Because at the end of the day, like after that, you could play like trash for the rest of the season. You got an all-star, right? So, I always believe that the all-star game should be played in the beginning, right before the season starts.
Okay.
And give them an incentive of what, put something in the air for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't play hard anyway, and then let the guys go out, expand the roster a little bit, like I mentioned. Get a lot of other guys on the floor, play the game. And just like they did with the NBA, tournament, and put something in the air for them for the All-Star game. I think what happened with the All-Star games is now it's more of a fan, like like a destination. It's not even about the game anymore. It's about
Yeah,
go out there, hook up and
it's
such.
all
Like,
publicity. It's all
yeah,
publicity. It's a who's who. Yeah,
right.
I get you. But I did like the U.S. versus the world
Yes.
concept. I did
Yeah.
like that. So maybe if they can grow with that, they need to just get rid of the dunking contest, or maybe have that as the first event, and maybe have the 3-point shootout last. Because
Yeah.
that was very good.
Yeah.
That was very good, and I
The
was
dunk
happy for Damian Lillard that he, was able to win that competition.
Wow, with a torn ACL, right?
Yes,
Insane, right? That's
yes,
insane. Uh yeah, the dunk contest is wash. Yeah, that
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
get
It's
it out of
done.
here. Unless you're jumping over a pit of alligators and shit. I don't care. It's done for. We've seen
Right.
everything. You've done everything.
Yes.
Um, the only thing that you could you know what you do, just put it away for a little bit. And I think what happened with that as well is that a lot of elite guys that are flashy dunkers and in-game dunkers, they shy away from it. They don't really entertain it. It's not anything they want to do.
I
Um
know. Ever
that
since
Yeah.
they said ever since Braun came into the league, it's like he said a couple of times he was going to compete, and then he didn't. And I think the other young stars, they followed suit because he became the face of the league.
Yeah.
And before he came, all of the NBA greats competed. They all did. Whether it was 1 year, 2 years, it was like they competed. And I think once he came in the league and he said he was going to do it and he didn't do it, the other youngins that came in after him, they followed suit.
Do you think the NBA suffers as well because of the ability to? You see how in the MLB that they have the interleague games and such, so you're able to play. They play the American League plays and the National and such. Do you think that it suffers a little bit more because we see more East versus West games and such, when maybe they should be more of a interconference, as opposed to being able to see that? Because I've always been the fan of wanting to see the best of the best
Yes.
who hasn't seen each other all season and such.
Right,
I'm a
right,
fan of
right.
that. Yeah.
I agree. I think they should add more of that. And I think more viewership would follow, because we see the same every time, you
Mhm.
know. So I think that would be a great idea to implement. But this last format, this most recent format, I personally I liked it. I
Mhm.
thought it was very interesting. It was very competitive, and it was long lasting. The quarters were shorter.
Mhm.
Uh, so you have to play. You have to play defense. You have to play offense. To advance. It just the older guys they got burned out because they had to play 3 games. But that could be tweaked and that could be adjusted. But I think overall it was a success.
Another aspect that is being looked at, and many people might seem interested in it, is what they do in FIFA in soccer, which is the not Premier League and such, which is on relegation, where if your team doesn't do well, uh, you can send their ass to the G League, like,
Right.
just like, and let like G League teams win championships, take that over, let the
Yes.
take that spot.
Right.
Um, I think there needs to be that kind of um way to show. I mean, it'll never happen because it's too much money on the table to do that. But at the same time, you see that real investments go into players and go into games and go into organizations. If they say, hey, if you're not able to, you put it to 26 teams in the roster, and then the last 4 or last 6 who can't make it, they got to sit and play somewhere else, and wait till they could get back in it.
Well, I agree with you to a certain point, but like you said, it's too much money in this game.
Yeah.
I do like what they do when the last 3 teams at the end of the year, they have to play for that 7th and 8th seed. I think that has helped because, usually teams that are out of the bracket, their season's over, but now they have a chance. I think that was a good idea.
Yeah, it all boils down to you pretty much gain a sense of when the team is going to start tanking. You pretty much gain a sense of the fire is done. I'm a big fan of, if your team is not going to make the playoffs, be a spoiler. Get somebody out there who's going to, make sure that another team know if I'm not getting in, you're not getting in either. That's what I'm a fan of. That's what I want to see.
Right. But see, Santy, a lot of these teams, they know they're not going to get penalized. They know they're not going to make the playoffs. So they start losing these games. And that's not good for anybody. Especially not good for their organization. It's not good for the league. And it's a real serious problem. So I think they have to find a way to start penalizing these teams to prevent them from losing on purpose.
Especially with the money, not only for the organizations and stuff, but in gambling, in the betting pool. It's just it's now like, we're seeing more and more that teams and players are just getting caught up with their own ridiculousness. And like we mentioned, there's a lot of money on the table for this. And I think this is why it turned a lot of people off from watching the games. It just, it's not as, competitive as it used to be. There was also talks of maybe breaking divisions down a little bit more, instead of having the amount that they have now in each conference, that they want to break them down and such, give them more opportunities to win their divisions and such. You think that'll work as well?
I think that's a good option. The bottom line, Santy, it's all about the fans, and that's what's missing. It's like the league has forgotten about the fan, and it starts with viewership. It starts with fans not attending the games. So it's a real issue.
Do you think the addition of the new expansions might help to bring more eyes to the product?
I think it could help. I think it's a fresh idea. I think it could create, more intensity, more just teams caring more. I think they need to reward teams that do give effort, that do, try. I don't know how they can, but I think they need to limit, instead of rewarding people for losing, reward people for winning. There's ways of, recreating incentive and bringing back the intensity and, for the love of the game and for its fans.
Yeah, I've noticed that when the NBA was on their high, is not only because the marquee players that were there. It's like you said, it was more of a fan involvement. If you ever been in an environment that is now fan friendly, you get that feeling and such. As Knicks fans, you go to the Garden now because now you got that sense of winning, that you're there. Possibly, but going to the Garden was like going to the club back in it. It's like you was like meeting up with like a chick out there and say, "What up? You want me courtside?" Like,
right.
But when you get to like when you see like OKC, how the fan base is there, the small market, it's such a strong following, and I would want to see that support still goes around with the NBA and such. It is missed.
It is, and they need to bring it back where every team gets has that fan base. Because certain teams, like you said, they have it, and then certain teams don't, and it's spreading. It's spreading, Santy. Less and less people are caring. So they have to figure out a way to bring the fan back before they lose them.
Do you think the NBA is going to be that they're going to dig more deeper? Organizations are going to dig more deeper in that European game. I mean, we saw it. I mean, since the 90s when they started, when you got the when the players were coming in, you had Dražen Petrovic and stuff like that. And these guys slowly but surely started creeping in. And then finally now, we saw that world team that played in the All-Star game. is the NBA going to? I'm probably predicting that we're going to see a NBA draft where like the first 5 players are not going to be American. They're going to be from somewhere else.
Yes, because in the U.S., we're not really teaching our kids how to play the right way. It's run and gun. These kids are not taught how to play defense. NIL has created an aspect where they're getting paid. They don't have that hunger like the college kid used to have. It's a problem. All these kids want to do, they want to play 1 year and they want to go to the NBA.
Yeah, it's long gone are the days of, remember when the epicenter of basketball and draftees, you either were coming out of New York, you were coming out of Chicago,
yes,
and you were coming out of LA, the gritty, the grimy, you coming out of there, or the DMV, somewhere in the DMV, you was gonna get some players there. Now it's like you said, these AAUs and these traveling teams and such, they get these players, they boost their ego, they do a JUCO or Division 2, Division 1 for a year or two,
Yep.
and just to touch grass, and that's it.
That's it.
So I've always been a fan. When I coached, I was always tell players, I said, if you really want to know the essence of basketball, you watch 2 kinds of games. You watch Euro basketball, and you watch women's college sports, college basketball. That's where you get the true
game. Yes. Yes.
Is there a way? I mean, we spoke about it, but do you think that the teams are going to be able to get back to that, to get back to the fundamentals of what the core game was?
I think it can. It just have to devise ways of just bringing back the teaching aspect of it, because these kids are not getting it. And we still have great coaches in the college game, but these kids are just hell bent on just getting to the NBA, just getting to the NBA, and then when they get to the NBA, it's like you have to teach them all over again.
Right, a hard reset. Yeah,
right. And a lot of these NBA teams don't have time for that. They need to win now. They don't have time to develop a young player who could have been developed in college.
Speaking of NBA teams, what team right now? But they're not there, but they're on the peripheral. Like you think right now, what teams right now you believe are going to come up probably the next year or so?
Well, I was going to say the Pistons, but it seems like they have arrived a year early. Orlando.
Yeah.
Orlando Magic. I think that's a young, good, up-and-coming team. The Toronto Raptors, they're a good young team. They're on the rise. Out west, let's see. Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're there. They're in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
They're a good young team that I think could rise up. The Phoenix Suns, now that they've gotten rid of Durant and Devin Booker is the man out there,
mm-hmm.
They're a very good team. They play the ball. They play the game the right way. In fact, the one Knick game I went to, it was homecoming night. It was against the Phoenix Suns, and I was very impressed by how they played.
Long are the days of when the Suns had guys like Dan Marley.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Johnson.
Please. I tell people to this day, I was like, you have not seen a true effective, not only in-game dunker, but also a guy who could take over a game at any moment as a Kevin Johnson. Before you know it, you look at the score sheet and you're like, he had 36? Like, exactly. Where did that come from?
and you remember him when he used to heat up. I remember that dunk he threw on Olajuwon. He just rose up, and by the time Olajuwon could react, he yammed it on him. Those were the days, Santy.
Man,
were the days.
Yeah, I was talking to our boy Bassy. Shout out to Bassy, and we were talking about how where's the loyalty at? when it comes to is it the loyalty to the players to the organization, or to the organization to the players? So I ask you, where should the loyalty be at? Is it from player to organization, or vice versa?
Well, it's a players' league, as we know, but I think more loyalty should be toward the organization, and that's what's lacking. The players, I think, are too dominant now. They need to bring it back a little bit. I don't know how, but it's affecting the league, because the players, they run the league. Players run the league.
Yeah, I look at when you see players who are just too loyal. You look at Damian Lillard, who just, it seemed like, man, he was stuck in that northwest desert for a long time.
Yes.
And like when I spoke to Bassie, it's, he says there's got to be certain incentives for the players who go to these places, because you got to be more accustomed to what your lifestyle is, and to go to a place like Portland, like, and stay there forever. It's like, you must really not like hanging out.
Right.
So you got to give, if the players are going to be loyal, they have to have something.
Right. And plus, they don't win a lot of times. They're in these cities.
Right.
Lillard was in Portland forever. And I think the closest he got was the second round. But I agree, there should be some type of reward for players like that, because that is true loyalty.
Yeah, he was there for a while, man.
A while. And now we see Giannis is going through this.
Yes.
Does he stay in Milwaukee? I'm hoping. You know where I'm hoping he ends up, but
I bet I know where.
But we'll see. We'll see. But it does need to be more loyalty coming from the players to the organization. I agree.
Yeah, the floor, and pun speaking, the floor needs to be spread when it comes to that, because there is certain aspects of being committed to an organization and such. Look at Kobe. Kobe, there was a time he was going to jump ship. He was going to be the Lakers.
Yes.
And they gave him what he wanted, what he needed, and this is a guy who fucking was, he screamed fucking team, pride and such. There comes a time when you're ready to go,
Right.
What players right now you think are stuck in a rut right now, that they're just stuck in a place that they just can't get out of right now?
Well, definitely Giannis. He needs to go. It's time. That team is not really going anywhere. Who else? Let me see. Well, Devin, he hasn't won. He's still in Phoenix. I think he re-signed with them, so he really is stuck in a rut. I'm trying to think who else.
I always believe that we talked about Portland. Portland becomes like just a stop before you go to the next team, and then you believe, it's like a train station stop. You're there. I think Chicago's becoming like that as well. It's just a stop.
Stopgap. Yes.
You get players who get there, and it's either you shine and then show that you could play and go somewhere else and become a better player. I think there's a lot of teams that do that as well. That's just become a one stop.
I think Utah is another one.
Yeah,
because that's where Mitchell first went. Yeah, and the Hawks, Atlanta Hawks, could be another one.
Mitchell, by the way, Mitchell is a fucking low key, just another one. You just don't know at the end when you look at the scorecard. It's like 38 and 15. How the hell is that going?
There is nothing Mitchell can do on the court. Nothing.
Yeah. Dog, very much a dog. It's just
How do you think he's going to do with Harden?
Shockingly, didn't think that Harden going there was going to work, but so far it looks like it's gelling. But there's another thing that happens with these players as well, which kills me. It's the fact that they, we mentioned earlier when it comes to money and such. I don't think like players don't like they don't really if they don't love the game, they're not gonna really care to win. And I think Harden has always been that guy. He'll get you whatever you want during the regular season, but come playoff time, he's just like, whatever, that's all right.
And he's another player who's lacking loyalty. I mean, he was in LA. He lives in LA. He was on the Clippers. He had Kawhi Leonard playing right next to him. They were a solid playoff team, and he still wanted out because it's all about the money to him. It's not even about winning a championship.
Yeah, I don't think anybody, do you think they even care about Hall of Fame status or because you have so many lists. You got the the top 100 of all time, and everybody be like, well, you go check my stats. I'm in there. But there was that sense of gotta get that chip, gotta get that ring.
Yes,
and you lose it. There's a lot of great players who never got championships, and they worked their ass off for it. That's the thing.
Right. It used to be get that chip. I'll worry about it. Everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame will take care of itself, but I want that chip. Now I think it's the other way around. They're not really concerned about a chip, but they do want to be recognized, as one of the, greats. But the loyalty is really gone, Santy.
The Supermax contracts, it lines the pockets and lets everybody know. What do you think about how the addition of Alvarado to the Knicks, how that's working?
Oh, it's working very well. Very well.
So it's been a long time coming, right? Like shit.
We've been trying to get him for the last 2 or 3 years. Excellent move by the Knicks management. He fit right in. If Deuce can come back, I'm hearing hopefully by the first round of the playoffs, they could be dynamite on the bench. Dynamite. Give us another dimension. They both can play defense, and we need that. But excellent pickup by the Knicks.
Hometown, especially him being a hometown guy, definitely for the spark. And that's another thing too that we miss. You get that, that hometown,
homegrown. Yes.
Yeah, that's so lacking. It
puts the fans in the seats as well.
Yeah.
Having a hometown guy.
I miss it. Like I said, I miss those days when you could look at the local high schools. You look at PSAL and you'll see who is who's going to be looked at for possibility. Going NBA bound 4 years, 5 years time and such. And it's not there anymore in New York. It's just everything is it's manufactured everywhere else and such. I'm looking at the standings right now. Who do you think in the East right now might not be able to hold on for too long to stay in the playoff hunt?
I think the Heat is going to eventually drop out. I think what we have right now, I think you're pretty much going to see. I'm hoping our Knicks can, stay within the 3, the 4, because I don't want to play Detroit right away.
Right.
I don't see a team either dropping or leapfrogging.
Yeah, when we're looking at it, right? Because that'll be interesting. Because as of now, we'll most likely be looking at the 76ers, which seems to be like a gimme right there. If we could get that right.
Yes.
In the West, I'm pretty interested to see if the Warriors could actually be able to stick it. I know Steph is back and such, but can it get back to what it used to be? It's not the team of game of years past.
No, and them missing Jimmy Butler, I think is gonna affect them.
Yeah,
they may be able to maybe fight and get the 8th seed, but I don't think they have enough firepower to really make a move. I want to see where Phoenix lands and the Lakers. They're both starting to play well. They're both battling. But all the teams above them, I think they're going to jockey, OKC, the Spurs, the Rockets, the Nuggets, Timberwolves. They're clearly the best in the West, and I think they're probably just going to, jockey for position.
Another guy that's on the radar, that's like, I mean, not on the radar, but I mean, just who could take over a game, and you just are just astonished to see how he goes, is Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves. It's like, wow.
Ant-Man is something else. He's a problem, Santy.
Yeah. I'm always amazed whenever I watch highlights of this kid, and I go, shit, he would be a reason why you should have the NBA League Pass, because you want to see him play.
You want to see him play, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, let me ask you, who do you see, now that Bron is close to retirement, who do you see being the face of the league?
That is, that's been a question that's been asked so many times, and it's like, I don't know, man. You gotta have that love-hate relationship with the fans, and also, with the journalists and such. Mike was beloved because of his game and such like that, but you realize after you hear these stories, Mike was a bit of a prick. So it's like, you get with Kobe the same thing. Everybody was like, he was a bit of a prick.
Yes.
LeBron, he's a bit of a prick. So it's like, you gotta have like,
you gotta have that edge, right? I agree.
Right. And a lot of times, a lot of these players, like Shai Gilgeous, he's a nice kid,
right?
Great player, and he looks like he can break out of that and probably be like the face of the league, probably.
And Santi, you got to have personality.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not so sure Shai, has that personality that would be like the face.
Yeah. It's because he's very low key and such.
Yeah, very cerebral. Yeah, I mean, he's up there, but I don't know if he can hold that on his shoulders. I'm the face,
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be, and like we mentioned, do they really want it?
Right.
Like, it's do they really want to have that that shine, that to be in the forefront of the league?
I think Ant-Man has the attitude. I think he has the personality, but like you said, does he really want it?
Right.
Because that's a lot of pressure. A lot.
Before I let you go, what's your thoughts of the possibility of there's talks of the possibility of changing the logo?
Mike. That's all I'm gonna say.
You crazy? Mike. You know how much money you would have to pay him to get that? That'll be outrageous. This is why I think
it should be Mike. It should be Mike.
You might as well just say the NBA is Team Jordan then, and that's it. It's like, if you do that, it's gonna be ridiculous if we did that. There was talks of also LeBron. There's that the dunk that he did with Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
That's the one that they
I've heard that too.
So symbolized as well, but of course, Mike, pun intended, would be the layup. But I mean, come on, that's gonna be insane if that happens.
Yeah, I would say Mike, if they're gonna change it. Yeah.
My brother, once again, thank you for checking in and stopping by.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
Let everybody know where they can find our friend Uncle Dave and what he expects from the Knicks this year.
We are going to, I'm hoping, at least get to the finals, Santy. That's my hope. We came close last year, but if we get to the finals, Uncle Dave be satisfied.
I'll definitely bring you back to discuss more Knicks stuff, because honestly, there's a lot on the table, especially that I'm happy that the formula that they had last year got tossed. It's like,
yes, it did. Yes, it did, Santy.
But where they can find Uncle Dave at, what socials is that?
Well, you can find Uncle Dave on Uncle Dave Samson David 64 yahoo.com, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks. I'll be here with my man Santy.
Definitely.
Love, peace, and joy to all you people. All right, stay safe. See you soon.
Yeah, and don't leave as of yet when I close this out. And guys, make sure you check us out on all social media outlets. Make sure you check out New York Wrestle Media, as well as on all the podcasting outlets as well. And be sure to always like and subscribe and be a part of the vibe here on New York Wrestle Media on the YouTubes. And look us out on Instagram, TikTok, wherever it is that you can find us. We are there. And we're, as always, talking sports here. And for you guys who are checking in for the first time, thanks for you guys checking in. And we got a lot of stuff, more content, more subject matter to touch on. And please like and follow and do what you do best. Be a part of what was growing here at New York Wrestle Media. And as always, guys, check you guys in a sec. Sit, turn type, sit. Good boy. Ruff.